I'm gonna set up my bed in my 2014 Nissan Rogue for an SUV camper. The only thing I needed to cut was the little edge right there for the plastic part inside the car. This wood is thick enough for me. I'm only 5'2", pretty small, so this works out really well for me. I can keep my feet completely straight, and I just barely touch the end of the bed, and I don't touch the seat, so it's very good. And then I cut 2 blocks with a tiny slant on it, just so that my bed would be completely level when I park flat, which I always try to park flat. I used 3 1/4 inch plywood. Here's a close-up of how I cut it. I used cardboard to measure first before I cut my wood, which is very important. And there's the blocks, a close-up. Because I cut it on a tiny little slant to keep the bed level, I just used an arrow to show up. The S is for when I use a single bed. I do use 2 plywoods when I have someone else traveling with me and I need to make the whole back a bed. But with that comes also a higher height with the block, so I need a different size of block, so that's why I have the S for a single bed, and then the other block will just have the arrow so I know which ones to grab. Here's another little close-up of how I cut the board. You only need to make 1 cut on this board after you cut the main length or width that you want. And I just bought these 2 cheap Dollarama rollout rugs for my interior car to protect it from the wood chips from the plywood. They're very hard to vacuum out, so I just wanted to protect it. There's a full view of my bed. It works out so well, and I always keep my foldable kayak on the side. And then here's my Nissan Rogue. It's a 2014. Again, I love this car. It's served me so well. Here's a side view when you open the door, and I always sleep behind me, like I said, and it works out so well. Again, there's a little close-up of the cut. Measure with cardboard first before you cut, and there you can see it's completely level. And those 2 top cuts aren't for this. They're actually when I use my board for art deliveries and art shows and things, but that's my bed. Let me know if you want a video of the double bed. I can definitely show you how I set up the whole entire thing as a bed.